At dawn, my daughter whispered, "Dad, they locked me outside with no shoes." When I opened the door, I found Lily standing there, her feet bare and red from the cold November pavement, her eyes wide with confusion. It made no sense. My 14-year-old daughter had been at her mother's house, my ex-wife Carol's place, just 15 minutes away. How could she be here, shivering on my doorstep at 5:47 in the morning? "Come in, come in." I ushered her inside, wrapping her in the throw blanket from the couch. Her skin was ice cold. "What happened? Who locked you out?" Lily just shook her head, tears welling in her eyes. "Mum's boyfriend. They were fighting, and I tried to hide in my room, but he said I was eavesdropping. He grabbed my arm." She pulled up her sleeve to reveal finger-shaped bruises forming on her skin. Something inside me hardened instantly, like concrete setting. He dragged me to the front door and pushed me out. I didn't even have time to grab my phone or shoes. He said I could come back when I learned to mind my own business. Her voice cracked. "But Dad, they were screaming so loud I couldn't help hearing them." I made her hot chocolate while trying to calm the storm brewing inside me. We'd been divorced for 3 years, and Carol had only introduced this boyfriend, Mark, to Lily 2 months ago. I'd never met him, but Lily had mentioned he seemed intense a few times. I should have paid more attention to that word. "What were they fighting about?" I asked, keeping my voice as steady as possible. Lily wrapped her hands around the mug. "Money, I think. Mum kept saying he promised to pay for something, and he kept saying she misunderstood. Then he said something about how his plan would fix everything if she'd just trust him." She looked up at me. "Dad, I walked for almost an hour to get here. I was so scared." The sun was fully rising now, painting my small living room in soft morning light. I'd moved into this apartment after the divorce, just a modest 2-bedroom place, but I'd made sure Lily's room was perfect for when she stayed with me every other weekend. Now I called her school and let them know she wouldn't be in today. Then I tried Carol's number, no answer. "I'm going to get your things," I told Lily after she'd showered and changed into the spare clothes she kept at my place. "You rest. I'll be back soon." "Dad, don't," she pleaded, grabbing my arm. "Mark has a temper. He throws things." I kissed her forehead. "I'm just going to talk to your mom and get your stuff. That's all." The drive to Carol's house gave me time to cool down, to rehearse what I would say. I wouldn't make a scene. I wouldn't escalate. I would simply collect Lily's belongings and inform Carol that our daughter would be staying with me until we could sort this out properly. But when I pulled into the driveway of the colonial-style house we once shared, something felt off. Carol's car wasn't there. Neither was any other vehicle. I rang the doorbell, waited, then rang again. Nothing. I peered through the front window and saw the living room was in disarray, a lamp knocked over, papers scattered across the floor. Using my old key, which I'd kept for emergencies involving Lily, I let myself in. "Carol?" I called out. Silence answered me. The house felt hollow, abandoned. In the kitchen, a coffee mug lay shattered on the tile, coffee staining the grout between the squares. Upstairs, Lily's room looked like she'd left in a hurry, drawers half open, her school backpack still by her desk. I gathered some clothes, her phone charger, and the stuffed rabbit she'd had since she was 4. In the master bedroom, closet doors stood open, clothes missing from hangers. Carol's overnight bag was gone. On the nightstand, her phone charger remained plugged in, but her phone was nowhere to be seen. As I headed back downstairs, something caught my eye in the study. The drawer of Carol's desk was open, papers spilling out. I wasn't planning to snoop, but a bank statement with red marker caught my attention. I picked it up and felt my stomach drop. Carol's account had been drained, a transfer of $212,000 just yesterday. Our divorce settlement money, her retirement savings, all gone. I was about to leave when I noticed a small leather notebook wedged between the desk and the wall as if it had fallen there. Inside were handwritten notes in what looked like Mark's handwriting, lists of names, figures and dates. And there, on the last used page, was my name, Lily's name, and Carol's name, each with a note beside them. Next to Carol, access to funds. Next to me, ex-husband, potential problem. And next to Lily's name, two chilling words: insurance policy. My hands shook as I pulled out my phone and dialed Detective Ramirez, an old friend from college who now worked in fraud investigation. Something was very wrong here, and my daughter's whisper at dawn was just the beginning. I didn't tell Lily everything I'd found. She'd been through enough already. When I returned home with her belongings, I simply said her mother wasn't there, and we'd try to reach her again later. The way Lily's shoulders relaxed told me I'd made the right call. She needed to feel safe, not more afraid. Detective Ramirez met me for coffee, while Lily napped, exhausted from her ordeal. The diner was nearly empty at 2 p.m., just a few regulars' nursing cups at the counter. James had aged since our college days, streaks of grey in his dark hair, lines around his eyes, but his focus was as sharp as ever. "So, this guy Mark," he said, examining the photos I'd taken of the notebook. "Last name? Peterson. At least that's what Lily told me. I never met him." James tapped his pen against his notepad. "And he's been dating your ex-wife for how long?" "About 3 months, according to Lily. Carol only introduced them 2 months ago." I stared into my coffee. I should have paid more attention, asked more questions. "Don't blame yourself, Mike. These guys are professionals." He slid the bank statement back to me. "This has all the hallmarks of a confidence scheme. They target divorced women with assets, especially ones who might be vulnerable or lonely." "Carol's not stupid," I said, perhaps too defensively. Despite our failed marriage, I still respected her intelligence. Smart people get conned every day. "It's not about intelligence, it's about manipulation." He leaned forward. "The concerning part is this." He pointed to Lily's name in the notebook. "Using children as insurance policies is a common tactic in these schemes. If the mark gets suspicious, they leverage the relationship with the child." My blood ran cold. "You mean Lily could be in danger?" "Not necessarily physical danger, but they might try to use her as leverage. The fact that he locked her out suggests he saw her as a threat to his plan." James took out his phone. "I'm going to run this guy's description through our database. These scammers rarely work alone, and they rarely use their real names." While James made calls, I tried Carol's number again. Straight to voicemail. I sent another text. "Carol, I'm worried. Lily is safe with me. Please call as soon as you can." "There's something else," I told James when he returned. "Carol and I had joint custody, but she had physical custody during the week. If she's missing, what does that mean for Lily?" "Let's not jump ahead. First, we need to file a missing persons report for Carol. Then, given the circumstances, you should file for emergency temporary custody of Lily." He handed me his card with a name scribbled on the back. "This is Sandra Torres, a family court attorney. She can help expedite things." That evening, Lily and I sat at my small kitchen table, eating the lasagna I'd prepared. She was quieter than usual, picking at her food. "Dad," she finally said, "is Mom in trouble?" I put down my fork, choosing my words carefully. "I think she might be, yes, but we're going to help her. It's because of Mark, isn't it?" Lily's perceptiveness shouldn't have surprised me, but it did. "What can you tell me about him? Anything strange you noticed?" She thought for a moment. "He was always on his phone, but he'd put it away if I came into the room, and sometimes men would come to the house when Mum was at work. Mark said they were friends, but they didn't seem friendly." She pushed her plate away. "Last week, I heard him on the phone saying something about moving to Phase 2 and that the Portland job went perfectly." "Portland?" This was new information. "Yeah, and Mom mentioned once that he used to live in Arizona before moving here. She thought it was romantic that he moved to Massachusetts just a few weeks after meeting her online." I made a mental note to tell James about Portland and Arizona. These could be locations of previous scams. The next morning, after dropping Lily at school, with strict instructions to call me if anyone unusual approached her, I met with Sandra Torres. Her office was modest but professional, family law certificates lining the walls. "Based on what you've told me," she said after reviewing my documents, "we have grounds for emergency custody. The documented evidence of physical abuse, the bruises on Lily's arm, plus the abandoned home and financial irregularities create a compelling case. How fast can we move on this? I asked. I can file today. Given the circumstances, we should get a hearing within 48 hours. She tapped her pen against her legal pad. But Mike, you should prepare yourself. If your ex-wife returns, this becomes complicated. And if she doesn't, she let the implication hang in the air. Later that afternoon, I was sorting through the papers from Carol's desk when my phone rang. An unknown number. Mike, it's Carol. Her voice sounded strained, almost unrecognizable. Carol, where are you? Are you okay? Lily's been... I know. I'm so sorry about Lily. She was speaking quickly, quietly. Listen, I don't have much time. Mark isn't who he says he is. I made a terrible mistake. We know, Carol. The police are involved now. Just tell me where you are. I can't. He might hear me. There was fear in her voice. Real fear. He took everything, Mike, my savings, my retirement. He said we were investing in property in Florida, but it was all a lie. Are you in danger? Do you need help? A long pause. Yes. It came out as barely a whisper. We're at the Lakeside Motel in Danbury, Connecticut, room 118. He has my ID, my cards, everything. I think he's planning to... The line went dead. I immediately called James, my hands shaking as I relayed the information. He promised to contact the Connecticut police right away. As I hung up, a text message appeared from an unknown number, the same one Carol had called from. If police come, I'm dead. He has friends. Wait for my signal. I stared at the message, paralyzed by indecision. Should I trust this? Was it even from Carol, or was Mark forcing her to lure me into something? The front door opened, startling me. Lily stood there, home from school, her face pale. Dad, she said, holding up her phone. Mom just texted me. She wants me to come meet her, alone. You're not going anywhere alone, I told Lily firmly, taking her phone to read the message. It was brief. Sweetheart, I need to see you. Come to the bus station downtown at 6 p.m. Don't tell your father. I'll explain everything. Love you. My stomach knotted. When did this come in? Just as I was leaving school. Lily's voice trembled. Dad, what's happening? Is Mom okay? I called James immediately, putting him on speaker. Carol's texting Lily now, trying to get her to meet alone. We've got officers en route to the Danbury Motel, James replied. Don't respond to any messages. And whatever you do, don't let Lily out of your sight. After hanging up, I sat Lily down. She deserved the truth, or at least as much as I could safely share. Your mom is with Mark, and we think she's in trouble. He's not who he pretended to be. He's taken her money, and now he might be trying to use you to manipulate her further. Tears welled in her eyes. Is he hurting her? I don't know, honey, but the police are looking for them right now. I squeezed her hand. The most important thing is keeping you safe. But what if Mom needs me? Her voice was small, frightened. The best way to help your mom is to stay safe and let the professionals handle this. I checked my watch. It's 4:30 now. By 6 p.m., the police should have located them. But 6 p.m. came and went with no word from James or the Connecticut police. Lily's phone buzzed with another message. I'm waiting, Lily. Please. It's an emergency. I texted James again, growing increasingly anxious. His response was not reassuring. Motel room empty. Signs of recent occupation. Search continuing. At 7:13 p.m. my phone rang, Carol's actual number this time. I answered immediately. Mike! Her voice was clearer now, but still hushed. I got away from him. I'm at a gas station off I-84, Golden Gas, mile marker 72. Carol, the police are looking for you. Stay there, they'll... No police! Her voice rose sharply. He has friends in law enforcement, that's what he told me. I don't know who to trust. She was crying now. I just want to see Lily. I need to know she's okay. She's fine, she's with me, she's safe. Please, Mike, bring her to me. Then we'll go to the police together, I promise. Every instinct told me this was wrong, but I couldn't ignore the desperation in her voice. Let me talk to James first. He's my friend, Carol. He's trying to help us. She agreed reluctantly. After explaining the situation to James, he advised caution. This could be legitimate, or it could be a trap. I'll send plainclothes officers to the gas station to secure the area before you arrive. And if she runs when she sees them, then something's not right. He paused. Mike, I can't stop you from going, but please, leave Lily with someone you trust. I arranged for my neighbor Mrs. Hernandez to stay with Lily. As I prepared to leave, Lily hugged me tightly. Bring Mom home, she whispered. The drive to Connecticut was tense, darkness settling over the highway as I crossed the state line. James called halfway there. Officers report a woman matching Carol's description at the gas station. She appears to be alone. Relief flooded through me. I'm about 20 minutes out. The Golden gas station was brightly lit against the night, a solitary island of fluorescence. I spotted Carol immediately, sitting on a bench near the convenience store, her blonde hair tied back, wearing a red coat I didn't recognize. As I parked, our eyes met, and she stood. Something felt off. She was too composed, too still. The Carol I knew would have rushed toward me, asked about Lily immediately. This woman watched me approach with an unsettling calmness. "Where's Lily?" she asked as I reached her. "Safe at home," I replied, studying her face. "Carol, what happened? Where's Mark?" She glanced around nervously. "Can we talk in your car? I don't feel safe out in the open." As we walked toward my vehicle, I texted James. "With Carol now. Something feels wrong." In the car, Carol seemed distracted, her eyes constantly checking the mirrors. "I trusted him completely," she began. "He said he was an investment consultant, showed me documents, client testimonials, everything. It all looked so legitimate. How did you get away?" "He went to meet someone, left me locked in the motel room. I broke the bathroom window." She rubbed her wrist, which I now noticed was bandaged. "Cut myself pretty bad." "Why didn't you call the police immediately?" She looked at me sharply. "I told you, he has connections. He showed me badges, Mike, real police badges with his photo." This detail made me pause. James had mentioned that some scammers use fake law enforcement credentials to intimidate victims. "Where's Lily really?" Carol asked again, her tone harder. "I told you, she's safe. I need to see her." Carol's hand moved to her purse. "Take me to her, Mike." And that's when I noticed it, a small earpiece, barely visible beneath her hair. She was listening to someone. My blood ran cold. "You're still with him, aren't you?" I said quietly. Her expression faltered for just a second before hardening. "He has everything, Mike. All my money, my identity. He says if I cooperate, he'll let me have some of it back. And Lily? What was the plan for her?" Carol looked away. "Just to talk to her, that's all." Bullshit. I rarely swore, but anger was overriding my caution. He wanted to use her, didn't he? As leverage or worse. A tap on the window made us both jump. A police officer stood there, badge in hand. For a moment I feared Carol was right about Mark's connections, until I recognized the officer as one of James's colleagues from our briefing. "Everything okay in there?" he asked. Carol's face drained of color. She fumbled with her purse, and I caught a glimpse of something metallic inside. "Don't!" I warned, grabbing her wrist. The officer opened the door immediately, assessing the situation. Within seconds, Carol was in custody, and her purse revealed a small handgun. "He made me," she kept saying. "He has people watching my parents in Florida. He said he'd hurt them if I didn't bring Lily to him." The next hours passed in a blur of police statements and phone calls. Mark, whose real name turned out to be Eric Mendez, was apprehended at a nearby hotel, attempting to flee. He was wanted in 3 states for similar scams, all targeting divorced women with assets and children. Dawn was breaking as I finally headed home, exhaustion weighing on me. When I opened my apartment door, Lily was asleep on the couch, a blanket pulled up to her chin. Mrs. Hernandez nodded to me from the kitchen. "She waited up as long as she could," she whispered. I thanked her and saw her out, then sat beside my sleeping daughter. So much had happened in just 48 hours since she'd whispered at my door with no shoes. Lily stirred, her eyes opening slowly. "Dad, did you find Mom?" I nodded, taking her hand. "She's safe now. The police have Mark. His real name is Eric. He was a con man who tricked your mom." "Is she coming home?" The question was complicated. Carol would need to give statements, possibly testify. She'd lost nearly everything, and her complicity in the attempt to lure Lily would have legal ramifications. "Not right away," I said gently. "She has to help the police first, and then we'll figure things out step by step." I brushed her hair from her forehead. "But you'll stay with me now, and we'll make sure you're both safe." Lily nodded, accepting this with the resilience that continually amazed me. "I knew something was wrong with him," she said. "The way he looked at Mom's bank statements when she wasn't watching, the secret phone calls. You were brave to notice those things. Braver still to walk to my place in the dark." She squeezed my hand. "I knew you'd help us, even though you and Mom aren't together anymore." 3 months later, we sat in a courtroom as Eric Mendez was sentenced to 12 years for fraud, extortion, and endangering a minor. Carol, granted leniency for her cooperation, received probation. She'd moved into a small apartment and was rebuilding her life piece by piece, seeing Lily for supervised visits twice a week. As we left the courthouse, Carol approached us. "Lily," she said, kneeling to meet our daughter's eyes, "I'm so sorry for everything, for not protecting you, for letting him come between us." Lily hugged her mother tightly. "It's okay, Mom. Dad says sometimes smart people make mistakes too." Carol looked up at me, gratitude in her eyes. "Your dad's right about that." The spring sun was warm on our faces as we walked to the car, Lily between us. Not the family we once were, but still a family, changed, tested, but somehow stronger. That night, as I tucked Lily into bed in what was now permanently her room in my apartment, she asked, "Dad, how did you know Mom was lying at the gas station?" I thought about it. "Because she asked about you before she asked about herself. The real Carol, your mom who loves you, would never have put herself first if she thought you were in danger." Lily nodded, considering this. "Do you think she still loves me, even after everything?" "Without a doubt," I said firmly. "She made terrible mistakes, but never doubt that she loves you." After Lily fell asleep, I sat in the living room thinking about dawn whispers and bare feet, about trust broken and slowly rebuilt. I thought about how quickly life can change, how a single moment, a single choice can set in motion events that transform everything. And I thought about the word family, how it stretches and bends, but doesn't have to break, even when tested by the worst circumstances. As the night deepened around me, I made a silent promise to both Lily and Carol. We would find our way forward, one step at a time, together but different, broken but healing.